what are some of the outstanding trends you're seeing in representation?
No, that's a great question. I think that, first of all, you know, the data that we gather show that the number of books is remaining stable. We're not seeing substantial growth in terms of what's being published when you think about just BIPOC books. When we think about representation, not only kind of the who, but the how, one of the most fascinating trends, and it's something that we've been puzzling about and that we may write about once we catch our breath, right, is this increase in any child books, but not just the increase in any child books, but any child books that have a character of color who we would call brown-skinned or race unclear, right? And so a character who is typically lighter skinned and depicted as any child. And we see that trend increasing. And so kind of thinking about, well, what does that mean? What are the benefits and strengths of that? Well, then a book like that allows a lot of children of color to read themselves into that role, or for a parent to read themselves into that character. So that's an advantage. The disadvantage is in saying, you know, who can be any child, right? Is it just lighter skinned BIPOC people who can be seen as entering into that kind of mainstream space and engaging in those activities? So that's one of the trends that we've been really kind of puzzling on and watching as it grows.
Many of those books are written and or illustrated by white authors and illustrators. So it seems to be one of publishing's responses to the diverse book challenge is, oh, well, then we'll just have the authors and illustrators we have make sure that a lot of their characters are brown skinned, which is not the whole, not what we're looking for. Certainly does not meet the needs that have been identified by the diverse books movement.